Let me break to you guys. I made something very special for you guys this week. I've been listening a lot to Larry Williams, been listening to all of the content he's provided on YouTube, the interviews, whatever. And something that really struck to me was his talks on seasonality and cycles. Well, I haven't been able to make something similar to the cycles, but of course you can get it in NinjaTrader or some other of the platforms that Larry recommends. So I want to keep the cycles to Larry. But what I want to show you today is the seasons. Because Larry Williams, he usually says he uses context like seasons, cycles, and all to get the context for his trading decisions, but he sticks to manual trading. But for me, I like to build algorithms. I don't want to become a copy of Larry Williams or trade the strategy. I already have my own strategies. So I wanted to make something more automated, something more of a science. So you can add it to a trading system, like as a filter, or you can add this as a trading system on its own to diversify your portfolio a bit, which is what I'm going to do. For now, I'm running the system on a $1,000 account just to see how it performs in real markets. But I want to show this to you guys. I haven't published it yet, and I want to show you what the backtests are showing, what is very promising to me. So Larry Williams, he talks about seasons. Seasons is something, well, every year is kind of the same in some markets like soybeans, wheat, the meat markets. They all are produced. And during the year, production, well, it changes a bit. Grains are harder to harvest, whatever. So the prices fluctuate with the seasons. That's why it's named seasonality. So what you would do is plot a line on the chart or into the future of what the coming days are going to bring. So that's the normal way of seasons. You see a downtrend coming or an uptrend. Oh, there's an uptrend coming in future and price has already been trending, it's going for an extra run. So a very good method, very good analysis. But I want to do something different. I want to make an oscillator from it. I fucking love oscillators. I don't know why, but they just look very professional. I mean, this has an institutional look to it. You really feel professional when you're using it. So, what does this do? Instead of plotting a line which is going to tell you what's going to happen in the future, I want to show what the predictions was on every day in the past. So what the system is going to do is you have an input and you can say how many trading days are going to be checked after the day. So say this is the day. I'm going to check 25 bars into the future. And then what did the move do? Okay, price went up. We do this for every year on every day of the year. So after a while, after 10 to 20 years of data, it's going to show you, okay, on this bar, it's one of the highest returns in the next 25 bars on the chart. Because for it, the average profit, it was a profit, but it wasn't that high as here. So this is going to look for the perfect entry point in the seasons, where the odds are stacked as much in your direction as possible. So we plot this line. This line is a percentage thing. So in the settings, you can say I only want the top 5% of long signals. So you put in here top percentile signals 95, so it's the top 5%, bottom percentile the bottom 5%. So that's what creates this red and green line. So now the system will see when it's a very beautiful day to buy. So I actually made the indicator have signals for a long day or a short day. So this allows me to backtest it. So Wizard Beta, very beautiful program for C. I didn't publish this yet. just like the seasonality, which will be published soon. There's a strategy framework. Let's wait for trading view a bit. And as you can see on this chart here in the red zone, you can see how the market dropped. But let's first show the results. So this indicator uses a long entry source, short entry source. It's provided by the Seasonality Wizard. So we're going to check Seasonality Wizard long condition, Seasonality Wizard short condition. For now, because it's 25 days in the future, I want a 1.5 stop, 1.5 risk reward. I'm going to remove these two in the future. Enter on open. Don't want to enter on close. You want to enter on the day. That's how seasonality measures it. So when the market opens, it's going to open a trade. So here it opens shorts. During the short area, it opens longs. It's all on the ATR base, which measures the average candle. So it's about 1.5 times average candle size. So trades is protected. So here you can see the long profit and the short profit. As you can see on this pair, much of the money was made using shorts, and the win rate was about 47%. So I do this for a couple of charts, and as you will see, it performs very well on a lot of markets. Here's a 49% win rate, which is very high for 1.5 risk to reward, which means target is 1.5 times more than the risk. So you have a positive expectancy. Same, you can see it on silver or on other of them. Here you can see the shorts have not been profitable. That's because silver is an asset that tends to go up over time. So in a situation like this, why would you want to trade the shorts? You want to trade the longs. Doesn't always work in every direction. You need to see the backtest and see how it works. So let's go to equity curve simulator. As you remembered on some of the earlier charts, we had a win rate about 47%, 1.5 risk to reward. So let's say we risk about a modest 2%, which to some people is a lot, but for me, 2% is nothing to lose. I can even lose 2% 10 times in a row. I'm still having a good account. Set this to normal. 500 trades, 20 simulations. As you can see, it just goes up. And what is very important here is look at the performance to the drawdown ratio. Only about 27% drawdown, while it makes 500% profit. That's a very decent gain. It's just very stable. The biggest drawdown was about 37%. So too much for some people. That's why most people use 1% or 0.5%. But I like this. I want to get a performance like this. So this is about 500 trades. So if you look at the seasonality, this is the top 5% and the bottom 5% of the year. So it's about 10% of the year it gets a trade. So on every one of these charts, which I made a list of all the good pairs to trade on seasonality, it's going to take about 30 trades a year. So if you have about 10 of these or more, you can get to this 500 trades a year and potentially make this target, which is all good in hindsight. It's just a backtest. About that backtest, when people are talking about seasonality, they usually use like the past 50 years of data and then be like, oh yeah, December is a good time of year to take a long. And they tested over these 50 years, and of course, it's going to be very profitable. But 50 years ago, you wouldn't have known those cycles. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like it's not really good backtesting. It's something more of something that crooks or ignorant people would do. Let me be as harsh as that. So what this thing does is It will adjust each year. And in this year, I will not know what's going to happen on next year. This is updating in real time. Every single day, it updates the measurements, it updates the expected return here, the expected losses, whatever. You get the charts here. So when the system gives signals to this backtest, it will only know the data that happened already on the chart. So these cycles, these seasons are changing a bit during the years. Of course, they get more stable over time. But as you can see, even with the lower data, we were profitable overall. Wow. If you wouldn't take in the shorts. But that should be common knowledge. Silver, gold, and other metals, you shouldn't really short them. They're much better to long. Same with the indexes. But so this is a valid backtest. It doesn't use future data for the backtest. It's all real time during the backtest. So that's a very good thing. One other thing about the indicator, I put some averages of all these values, and then it will see if it's in the top or bottom of the range and color these bars accordingly. That's just a neat thing, that's just for visuals. Another thing is, some years you have an extremely big move and it's going to mess up the data. For example, you would have lost 30% of the time if you would be bullish during that time. Then a huge move comes one year and somehow the average profit is much higher and you would think it's a long day. That's why we added the blue line. Blue line is not about the percentage gain. It's about how many times the market closed higher or lower than the entry price. So it will measure the consistency. If this blue line is over here instead of below here, you know that this data is valid. It's been consistent. It's not just one bull run that created this data. While here, you can see on average, the market has been bearish. So here there were some outliers. So I wouldn't trade these, even though on the chart you see them as winners. So that's another thing to boost the confidence, and what's more important as a trader than confidence. So that are all the elements except for one. Larry Williams, he really loves the commitment of traders, and I love some myself. When I was using the indicator, I used to go on TradingView, type in commitment of traders. Well, somewhere over here they have their own personal indicators. Then I would overlay it here and the white line would be there. I could see what the commercials are doing. For example, here they are buying the thing. Here they are selling, so the bull run will not last very long. This is extra information to be even more confident. If the seasonals are aligning with the commitment of traders, then that's a good trade. One thing we had some problem with the indicator is that, of course, the commitment of traders is positioning. They are not in the same range of data as the seasonals. So instead, I made an index. In the settings, you can here you can put an index look back. So here this 500. So of the last 500 bars, to look what were the commitment of trader highs, what were the lows. Create a zone, and then I will check, is the current commitment of traders data more close to the high point or the low point of the past. So you can see if they are currently adding or lowering their positions. So it doesn't really matter how high it is in total, it just matters what's been happening the last 500 days. So I then, with some mathematics, put it in between these lines, and we have a ranging indicator telling the story of the commercial hedgers. Of course, some people they don't want the commercial hedgers, they use the large traders or the small traders from the Commitment of Traders Index. So you can do that. I'm going to stick it to commercial. I always want to give traders what they want. So here there's the extra option. So that's about it. There's some visual settings if you want to mess around with it. Use next day signal. This took a bit to code. It was not that easy. But what this is, say you want to run a strategy test with a strategy script from TradingView. On a strategy script, you enter on the close of the bar, which you don't want if it's a good day to buy. So here it will show what the next day is going to bring, send a signal, and it will open on previous day close, it will open a position. So that's what this for. But I turned this off for my signals. So as you can see here in the signals, I have a bunch running for all the things I want to trade. Looks like some got stopped out. That's what you have to do on TradingView, refresh them. But what I've been doing is I've just been following these signals. If it says sell some sugar, I'm going to sell some sugar, even if I sold some yesterday. So as you can see here, it's been layering the sells on sugar. I've also been doing the same on oil. See, I'll show you guys that I'm not messing around. I'm using real money to test the system. For me, maybe not for you guys, but for me, €1,000 is a lot of money. I withdrew about €100 because I need it. I'm not super rich yet or anything. I needed the money. So that's why it's about 908 now. It's not in a loss. It's not really in a profit. It's been ranging. But I'll keep you guys updated on this in the future. For now, I just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek about the program. Sorry if I rambled a bit too long. Just want to show you guys this. And I hope that if you are a fan of Larry Williams, excuse me, I'm not talking about the comedian, then this program could be something for you. I don't know pricing yet. There will come an update in the future. I'm going to publish this thing. It will come in the future. So don't worry. You will have this system. Alright, have a good time. See ya.